Hi, my name's Whitney, and I'm the Video Marketing Specialist here at Syncfusion. Today I'll be speaking to Matt Duffield, author of ECMAScript 6 Succinctly. So, for those who don't know you, could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Matt Duffield. Um, I have been doing software development since 1996, so quite a long time. I I guess I like pretty much everything with technology, but the majority of it has been just with everything else, ubiquity of the phones, the browser. It kind of has led me to doing a lot of mobile and web development.
Okay, and what inspires you in your work?
Wow. I think just technology, period. I like the ability to create things or build something. And with programming or with software, you kind of get that, maybe not quite tangible, but you get that quick release from that perspective just because you can build something out, show it to your clients or whatever, and have them give you feedback very quickly. And with how quick DevOps cycles are now, being able to just say, yeah, I just updated your site, take a look at it, let me know what you think. It's no longer gone from weeks or months. It's now literally hours or minutes. So I think that's what inspires me the most is being able to build a solution and then let people um, give their feedback, whether positive or negative, but then be able to react quickly to it.
Okay, that sounds interesting. So recently you wrote for us a Succinctly ebook called ECMAScript 6 Succinctly. Can you tell me a bit about your favorite part of working with that and what you're most interested in?
Yeah, I guess what really excites me about ECMAScript 6 is that JavaScript itself proper is finally becoming more of a first-class citizen instead of more of a scripting language. There's been a lot of derogatory or negative connotations always going with JavaScript. Spaghetti code, anyone can learn it, and then they really make a mess of it. But now with ES6, ES7 are coming out, we really have the tools and we really have the maturity of the language that allows us to speak like Java or .NET C Sharp and build classes, be able to have a language syntax that just looks clean, allows us to have separation of concerns and correct encapsulation. So I think that's what the biggest things that excites me about, especially ECMAScript 6, is the fact that we're finally getting some really mature features, and there's a lot of them that are really exciting to me, just because I use them daily with what I do at work. So it's very exciting.
Okay, and how did you first get into it?
Yes. So to me, more of a need of just trying to keep up. The specification for JavaScript is continually maturing. I really love the fact that they have a yearly cadence instead of what they had before. I think a lot of people really look poorly on the committee because of how slow they were in the past, and so it's awesome to see it moving at a faster cadence and a cadence that seems to make sense for a lot of developers. For me, it's just the fact that a lot of these front-end frameworks now are targeting ECMAScript 6, ECMAScript 7, wanting to be able to give us classes, wanting to be able to allow us to use properties, just syntax that we've always had in these other mature languages that we're finally getting in JavaScript. And so to me, it's just a matter of when, not why or how. It's just the specifications out there, frameworks like Angular 2, Aurelia, React, all these frameworks you can start using ECMAScript 6 now, and if you have to, if the browser you're targeting doesn't support it, then you can fall back on transpilers like Babel to be able to still use it and have the best of both worlds.
Okay, and it sounds like there's a lot to come. I mean, do you see any big things in the near future or in development in general?
Yeah, I really think that with JavaScript, period, because of the fact that it is so ubiquitous. I mean, every smart device has a browser, and the way to communicate with that browser is via HTML and JavaScript. The ubiquity of that is just going to further drive JavaScript being even a more mature, a better feature language. And we're going to get features like in ES7, 2016, which will allow us to have async await. So basically asynchronous programming, where it was more of an add-in. We had Ajax, and we've had that for a very long time. We've had other features like jQuery provided for us, but now having that as a first-class citizen within JavaScript, just like we have in Java and C# is just going to make the language even better. And so there's features that a lot of us that do, line of business application development have used these for other traditional languages. We're now getting this in JavaScript, and it's becoming, you look at the feature set, it's almost exactly the same, synonymous between the two, or whatever language you're comparing it with. So I, in my opinion, I see JavaScript becoming more and more on par with some of these other mature languages, but at the same time, it's so ubiquitous that we're going to be able to continue to write really nice or even better solutions using JavaScript only in the browser and targeting these smart devices.
Well, that sounds like great news. So shifting more generally, do you have any tips for new developers?
Yeah, that's the funny thing about development period is that you think you're relevant, you think you're up to date with everything, and there's always something new coming out. My focus has always been, or my advice has always been, pick something that you are very passionate about and what you really like. Whether from a programming perspective, is it's databases, whether it's front end, desktop development, or whether it's web development, mobile specific development. Pick something that you really enjoy. And what the cool thing about JavaScript is that you can pretty much target all of these paradigms, whether they're operating systems or devices using JavaScript now with plethora of different solutions that are out there. So, my advice would be pick something that you really enjoy. If it is the programming, the UI side of it, then dive in as deeply as you can. Never stop creating, because the moment you do, you're going to find that something else is new out there. And I guess that's what keeps us young, I guess, per se, just the fact that nothing's static in our world. But at the same time, it's an exciting world, because things that took us, several pages to write in the past are now, a couple lines of code, and we're able to do the same thing. So it may make you a little frustrated because I did this several years ago, but now I can do the same thing a lot easier. But I would say don't get discouraged. Just to me, the biggest thing is make sure you love what you're doing, and find that area that you absolutely get excited about, and then focus on it. Dive as deeply as you can and set yourself apart so that you can, kind of be that go-to person that says, hey, could you help me with this? Because I noticed that you're really good at this aspect.
That sounds like great advice. So are you working on any personal projects, or do you have any upcoming events that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I guess the personal project is kind of related back to you guys. I'm working on a Succinctly book on Aurelia, which is a front-end framework that I'm really excited about. It targets ECMAScript 6 and 7. And it's been a lot of fun. I'm also working on, through my company, a designer that allows you to build forms and, line of business applications. There are a ton of those out there that target, whether it's jQuery, Bootstrap, whatever framework you like. The biggest difference with this one is that it's plugin friendly, and it is data binding ready. So what I mean by that is when you drag and drop maybe an input box, it automatically will try to allow you to do data binding for Angular, or if you want to choose a plugin for Aurelia, Angular 2, depending on what framework that you're trying to target, it's going to allow you to do that. And the beauty of it is that it's all metadata driven, and so it's data about data, so kind of the inception pathway, if you will. But it keeps me busy, and I really enjoy it. I've done it several times for Silverlight, dating myself, XAML, Windows, and now Angular, and now Aurelia. So I've been able to play around with it a lot and mature it, and I've had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you for sharing that, and I'm sure that all of our viewers are going to be quite interested in the new Succinctly book.
Yes, I'm excited as well.
So our last question, if there's any kind of fun fact that you'd like to share about yourself?
Sure. I have a lot of hobbies. I enjoy outdoors. I think the biggest strange fun fact about me is that I'm a hang glider pilot.
Oh, wow.
I learned to hang glide out of Asheville in the Carolinas. I've just recently moved back to Oregon, Portland area, but I did a lot of flying out in the Carolinas. Looking forward to doing it out here as well. And that and scuba diving, and then just general backpacking, hiking, I really enjoy. So.
Well, that sounds very exciting. Lots of flying in your future then.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay, well thank you, Matt, for joining us today and for writing this Succinctly book about ECMAScript 6. And for our viewers, if you want to check out the title for yourself, there's going to be a link in the description. Thank you.